This is an amendment actually to yesterday's episode about our earnings call expectations for Tesla. There's one question that I forgot to mention, which is incredibly important. And it's one of the most important questions I want to ask Tesla. And that would be, when will the rest of the business be half or more than the car business, which currently consists of 3Y, S, and X? So when will the rest of the business, which is the energy business, it is other vehicles such as semi and Cybertruck and software and solar and all these types of business, when will they become half or more of the business? So this would be a very interesting question, because it's one of those questions that I think you can ask somebody like Musk. He has that ability to look forward and see where the business is going. I think it would be an interesting exercise, because there's this excitement about the Megapack and Lathrop and ideas that you could start having considerable EPS contribution from there. And I think that's actually, that is a realistic scenario. We should take this scenario seriously as investors. And I think this question is along those lines, right? But if you have a business that can deliver or starts getting some traction on the EPS front, 50 cents per share, $1 per share, but then starts growing exponentially, or even more than or very, very high exponentially. We have right now, the energy business is doubling every year, and it's expected to do that for a while. So those are very, very strong growth rates. We did some math, and we expect in, let's say, 5 years, the business of Tesla to be 50-50. So we have the contribution of the car, and then we have all the other businesses. And that's kind of what I think what Musk is alluding to when he's saying the company is going to be, the most valuable company in the world. It's because, well, it's not just the car business. It's not just exposure to, let's say, cars, which on its own, of course, is a massive, opportunity. It's all these other businesses too. So we would like to ask that question, have a conversation about that. If we can't have it at the earnings call, we might have it at the investor day. So this is definitely a point that I think is very important. And just since, for listeners also, whenever you formulate these types of questions, whenever you think about, investing, I think it's important to understand that the interaction you have with the company defines also how they interact with you. It's not like they have a certain preconditioned way to talk to you and think about things and even act. So in other words, you can actually influence their behavior by channeling the conversation in the right direction. For example, when I asked the question at the first AI day about LiDAR, that became a big deal because it forced Musk to make a statement that LiDAR is a crutch and so on and so forth. And that became almost a political statement after a while within the company, for good or for bad. So I think it's important to think about these things. The purpose of this podcast is to give people a sense for what it feels like to run a hedge fund. So it's important to formulate questions like this. Ask them if you don't have an opportunity to ask. Sometimes you don't have access. That's fine too. But for yourself, as a steward of capital, it's incredibly important to have that kind of perspective on your portfolio. Thank you.